out now. There's still time, but this is the warning that the river is starting to come over the dike.
Work on the dike.
Agnes was the worst disaster to hit the United States. At that time, the Agnes storm was the worst. This area was the hardest hit. We had bodies disinterred from a local cemetery that the river broke through and washed out into the streets. We had a major downtown business district completely destroyed. We had thousands of homes. We had one community where only a handful of homes were not affected. When I got to the courthouse, I found that with all the preparations civil defense had in place, the one missing element was a public information officer to get the information out to everyone as quickly as possible. And General Frank Townend, who was the civilian commander of civil defense, asked if I would take the job. Basically, he told me he needed me. So I suddenly took on a career that I never envisioned taking on. Back here where you see those tables now, we had ham radio operators set up their two-way equipment. There was only one working telephone in all of Wyoming Valley, and so all the communications were by radio. State police radio frequencies, the ham radio operators, even some citizens band radio broadcasters helped us out. Information was coming in extremely rapidly from the various communities throughout Luzerne County, and some of that information was questionable. Civil defense felt it was very important to have one voice. Fortunately, because of a colleague of mine, Ron Giulianardo, he started an idea that really mushroomed. Ron said, why don't you allow our station to pick up your signal and we will rebroadcast your signal. That led to us getting 13 area radio stations on board and doing the same thing every hour at quarter after the hour for 5 minutes. We would broadcast a newscast strictly involving flood information. You can imagine this area filled with people, notes back and forth, incoming messages from people in the field, worried about what was happening in a particular area, outgoing messages as to what they had to do to address those things. And it's from these offices where we asked for and got some 10,000 volunteers to fill sandbags and try to stay ahead of the river. We thought, up until the second day, we thought there was a chance we could beat the river. Then, of course, the decision was made when we saw what was happening upstream. It wasn't going to work. We were going to lose the battle. I went outside about that time, and on one of my breaks outside, I saw what is now the Veterans Bridge washed away. I actually saw it crumble. Then we sounded the sirens, and a chill still goes up my spine when I think about all the years I spent in broadcasting, and I'm most remembered for saying, get out now.
Get out now. Get out now. There's still time, but this is the warning that the river is starting to come over the dike.
Work on the dike has ceased. The water is expected to break through.
But because of the timing of that evacuation notice and the decisions that were made by General Townend and Nick Suchak and the people in this room, thousands of lives were saved. Unfortunately, property was lost. But property can be replaced and lives can't be. Can there be a flood greater than Agnes? Absolutely. Mother Nature doesn't follow any rules to know what to do in emergency, to know what insurance to have, to know where they're going to get communications when the disaster hits, is life-saving for the future. So there are lessons to be learned from Agnes. There are lessons that are good for all time to come.